I can feel hope and change is on the way. Before we get to our final keynote speaker of the evening, I just would like to ask one of our board members, Bill O'Grady, to come up here to speak with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill O'Grady.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm going to try to get us a little bit back in time to give plenty of time for Mr. Kane to speak. I've been looking forward to it. And thanks so much, Rick. That was really terrific. And you did everything that I suggested you do. It was perfect. I thought that was good. And the fact you didn't keep notes, your memory's terrific. So I was very impressed with that. I, on the other hand, have a few notes. But I wanted to start with a story. It's the story of a fisherman and the game warden. They were friends, and this fisherman was the best fisherman, the most successful fisherman this game warden had ever seen. Every time this fisherman went out, he came back with his limit. The game warden said, "You got to take me fishing." The fisherman said, "Listen, I only go by myself. I never go with anyone else." And just for years, he kept saying, "You got to take me." Every time he'd see the fisherman come back, he had reached his limit. So one day the fisherman said, "Okay, you want to come fishing with me? Fine. Meet me at the dock at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning." So that night, the guy could hardly sleep that night. He was so excited. So game warden gets there, and the fisherman's already in the boat. He jumps in the boat. Fisherman gets it going around the corner, and they're out in the water. And game warden's just beside himself. He said, "I can't believe this. This is so exciting. I've wanted to fish with you for so long. You're the best fisherman I know. You're so successful." And he's carrying on and on. Well, the fisherman reaches down on the bottom of the boat, picks up a stick of dynamite. Game warden is kind of shocked a little bit. What's he doing? He lights it up, throws it overboard. A few seconds later, kaboom! Water boils up, all these fish start floating to the top. He picks them up, puts them in the boat. Game warden says, you can't do that. That's against the law. It's a felon. I could take your boat and your truck. This is incredible. This is what you do? And he's carrying on and on. The fisherman reaches down, grabs another stick of dynamite, lights it up, and hands it to the game warden and says, "Listen, you going to fish or are you going to talk?" So I say that because I think that's kind of where we're at, and I think Rick said it very, very well. Are we going to fish or are we going to talk? Kevin sort of had that type of a moment almost 20 months ago when he left the confines of the state and took that stick of dynamite and handed it to him, and he said, "Well, I'm either going to do this or not." I mean, when Karen announced that she was leaving, there was a potential for a significant void in this state. And, we looked at that and said, are we going to fish or are we going to talk? In other words, are we going to do this and fight the good fight, or are we going to just let it go and grumble on the sideline? There's a number of things that people have you been passing out? Why don't you pass out the, just so that they're at the table, because I do want to catch up on a little bit of time here. But we had a number of things in your bulletin, your programs that talk about the accomplishments that we've had. Yeah, I'm a church guy. And we'll do something religious. We're now going to take a collection. Anyway, and I'm not wearing my glasses, and so I can't read any of these notes. But we hit the ground running. Karen, you had Shannon up in front of Kevin, dragging him along sometimes, and she was tremendous. We have had tremendous volunteers, and the donors in this room. We would not have been able to accomplish any of these things without your loyalty and support, not just in finances, but showing up and making phone calls. We had some crazy things happen that just in the first election of the electoral section, governmental, what am I talking about? In the first session, that were incredible in terms of the phone calls and people showing up and really doing some great things. So it's all because of the people in this room. We have a lot of work to do over the next, as the governor said, over the next 20 days. John Lynch, he needs to retire to his mansion on the hill and pay a boatload of view tax. Senator D'Alessandro, he's a very nice man, but he needs to go and take his dream job as a greeter at Foxwoods, or Mohegan Suns, or Suffolk Downs, or maybe he could work on the lottery commission. There's a saying down south and they're much more humble and genteel and polite than we are. But when someone's, about as sharp as a bag full of doorknobs, they'll say, bless his heart. He's such a fine boy, bless his heart. She makes good pie, bless her heart. Which brings me to Carol Shea Porter. Bless her heart. I think it's time for her to pack up her crayons and lunchbox and leave Washington, D.C. Oh no, I'm good. Then there's the conservative Paul Hodes. That was my Kelly Ayotte imitation. The conservative Paul Hodes. I have a joke. The conservative Paul Hodes, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny were all in a boat together. The boat sank, and there was one life jacket. Who survived? Well, no one, because they're all figments of Paul Hodes, conservative Paul Hodes' imagination. Anyway, right now we have an opportunity to give. I believe that you've had some envelopes passed out. I would like you to take out and look at those. There's several things that we would like to, and in the program there is information about our budget, some of our budget goals. I mean, we've done this kind of like, that scene in The Wizard of Oz when the Dorothy and the three cohorts are in front of the great and powerful odds, and there's this man behind the curtain. And we've done this, for the most part, with 1.5 staff, paid staff, and volunteers. We have had a lot of money that's come in and gone out for advocacy. If you've seen any of the newspaper ads, I didn't bring my fedora and my whip, but you may have seen that ad. Did anyone see that one? Isn't it called a fedora? Okay. Indiana Jones? Does that ring a bell? Shockingly good one. I don't want to say anything too bad about Mr. Vinny because he might put big trees up in my yard. I want to be careful on that one. We've been able to do amazing things with not a big budget. And we really have a goal this year is to get the $500,000 in operating budget, which will allow us to hire more people so that Kevin will actually be able to spend more time on the things that he's good at and not the things that drag him away from the things that he's good at. Is that a better way to say that? And then Shannon will be much happier. And we want Shannon to be happy. It's very important. Also, in there's cards. We'd love to capture your information if you're not on our voter voice mailing list where we send out email alerts. Please fill out the cards, and once you've completed everything, put it back into the envelope. We would love to get monthly donations if possible. It's easier for us to budget. You can do an ACH in there if you see we put the information in there. The benefit of that is we don't have the cost of either a credit card or PayPal. It allows us to be more efficient with the monies that do come in. This is what I would say to you. If you think Cornerstone is important to New Hampshire, if you believe that we've been effective in championing the conservative causes of this state, if you think that we're not just stewards of today and this generation, but stewards of the future as well, and if you think freedom is a pretty darn important thing, then I would ask that you come along aside us and help us financially to really execute on these missions going forward. And I'm going to ask you the question that the fisherman asked. He said, are you going to fish or are you going to talk? It's the point. We can do this right now. So thanks very much, and please, 5 minutes? 5 minutes? 5 minutes after me? What's 5 minutes after me?
Will I have an opportunity?
Oh, they'll have an opportunity for 5 minutes. I guess you're going to be able to talk amongst yourselves. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for donating to this cause. It has been a worthy cause, and we really, really appreciate what we've been able to do.
Bill, thank you for that message. Actually, the 5 minutes wasn't to talk. The 5 minutes was to fish, as in fish in your back pocket for the wallet. No, I appreciate your generosity and anything you can help to do to bring us towards our goal of achieving our budget objectives.